Good morning. Happy Monday. Here we are. Please say hi in the comments as you connect into Coffee Club this morning. Or if you're doing it later on the replay, just give a good old GM in the comments. Good morning. Let me know you're hanging out, whatever that looks like for you. Would love to connect in. Good morning, Jim. And yeah, you're welcome to join the conversation in the comments. That's how this works. That's what virtual So we're going to give people another minute to join us for the live portion. And we'll check in halfway through May. Does that not feel so wild? If you've got kids in your life, they're counting down. They are on the home stretch to the end of school. My condolences over the Oilers going out of the Stanley Cup. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's the Oilers, so the majority of us don't really care, but it would be nice to keep a Canadian team in there. I have no idea how the Leafs are doing. Morning, Ange. It is definitely allergy season in full swing. That is for sure. Jim, yeah, like I can't feel sad about the Oilers not making it. I just can't. It's just the way it goes. Like I said, Canada would be great, but whatever. It's the Oilers. What else is going on today, friends? What's happening in your world? It has been, May has been a crazy month. There's been a lot going on. Last week, I lost a dear friend, and it was really sudden. And she was a huge influence and positive light in, in everybody's world she came across. But she definitely was where I had met Stacy was in the country music world, and so she was a dynamo in the Canadian country music world and a former Canadian Country Music Award winner and the whole shebang. And it was really sad. And sometimes those sudden, I don't think anyone's really ever prepared to lose somebody, but those are, it was a tough week. And I feel so much for her husband and her family. And it was a crazy week for that. There was a lot going on. I got the opportunity to go to the Shania Twain concert last week, which I should have drank out of my Shania cup this morning. But it's Meditation Monday, so I got to drink out of my meditation cup. But that was an interesting experience as well. I think that the young version of me who grew up listening to Shania's music loved those pieces. I'm not sure, as a connoisseur of songwriting, I totally love her new stuff, but it was entertaining. It was entertaining. It was a good show. She put on a great show, great stage. That was good. And then, oh gosh, I wanted to talk to you about on the weekend. Mike and I, yes, Amber Marshall was there. She sure was. Mike and I got the chance to MC an event in Calgary called Beacons of Hope. And they created this event. I feel like this was the second year. They started it last year as a movement to support and bring positivity to the Calgary Police Service. So there's obviously, we've had in our media and around pros and cons for our police service, and especially in the city of Calgary. And wherever you sit on the fence of that, at the end of the day, kindness always wins. And we got to go hang out with a huge group of people at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, and there was billions of children and we played old-fashioned games. Like, one of my roles and jobs for the day was to announce and help kids get introduced for games. And so they did like potato sack racing and right egg tossing and the egg on the spoon race and the three-legged race and all of these fun things that community could come out. And also a lot of the Calgary Police Service members brought their kids out, and then they had a whole kind of trade fair set up where you could look in the forensic unit and the check stop wagon and the bomb unit, and they had like the robots, the bomb robots and all of the things. And I watch a lot of crime television, so it was interesting for me. My son wouldn't let me go into the forensic unit, but next year I'm all about this one. Anyway, it was a really cool event. And then a friend of mine, Bobby Wills, who's also a country music singer, came to do a performance at the event. And we just had a beautiful Saturday of positivity, of uplifting message, of support, and just all kinds of kindness rolling around that day. And so it was really cool to be a part of. So I just want to thank Sean and the crew from Beacons of Hope for allowing Team Limelight to come out and be a part of that. It was interesting. I had never been up close to what the horses they use in, or the equipment. I guess it was probably for crowd control would be the premise of it, but like horses in full Kevlar gear. Looked hot because it was such a hot day, but it was fascinating. So it's been busy. And then, yeah, Mother's Day yesterday. So happy Mother's Day to all of our mom people. And I say mom people and nurturers because you might not necessarily be a mom who gave birth to a child, but you might be in a mom role in a relationship. You might be a nurturer in your community. You might kind of have that role. And I think that's, always nice to recognize people. I know I've got lots of friends who are the stepmoms of the world. And so acknowledging that. And I know that it can be a tough day for a lot of people too, because you might no longer have your mom here on earth. So missing your mom on that day can be really difficult for people too. So just sending all kinds of love for that. And hopefully you had a great day. If you are a mom, you got to relax a little bit or do something you wanted to do. We had a Simpsons marathon at our house. So that was interesting. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a busy, crazy, wild time. And I'm curious to know how things have been for you. I see in the comments that the Leafs are out too. That's what Jim said. So no Canadian teams going to the Stanley Cup. So where are we at, Jim, with this? Like, give me an update if you're still with us, or anybody who knows. Like, are we down to like the final two teams yet? I don't know. It feels like this takes forever. Like, it's nice outside. No one wants to watch hockey anymore, do they? Probably going to get blasted for that, but it is what it is. Oh, friends, the other cool thing that I got to do on the weekend, it was so busy, was I got invited down to Nanton. And Nanton has started a community broadcasting association. So they have a small internet radio station. There's still 8 teams, Jim. Jeez. Um, so Nanton has this called euroradio.ca, EURO.ca, I believe is I'll look it up and I'll link it to here later. So they have a small little broadcasting radio station for their community to broadcast just about their community. And then they do a live Facebook show, kind of similar to this, using the same program actually that I shared the link on Saturday, where I got to be a guest for a few minutes on the show and talk about the meditation classes that I'm doing in Nanton. And it was so fun. But they've converted somebody's garage into a full radio studio. So it was really cool to see all that they have done for this garage conversion, this beautiful studio. And yeah, just a big shout out to the Nanton Community Broadcasting Association for doing all kinds of cool things to promote their community and each other. And there was a Mother's Day market in Nanton. So one part of the group was broadcasting live from the market, and they had all kinds of cool things going on. So I love seeing community building community. You know, that's my jam. And so it was really neat to get a chance to be a part of that on Saturday. So thank you to David and Amanda and the crew for having me down to check out the studio, to get to go on and have a few jokes with them and have some fun. And I appreciate so much their support in promoting the meditation classes down there. It's just so nice when people want to lift each other up and be a good part of that. So I thought that was really, really cool. And so thank you so much. Um, what else? What else is going on in the world? It's always chaos. Spring is in full force. I think that's the nice piece about it is wherever you are, you're probably starting to have more beautiful weather. I know I have a big apple tree right in front of my deck, and it is in full bloom now, and it's full of bees and full of birds, and it feels so, so nice to have that transition, and it feels so spring-like. We've been having some really warm temperatures in my neck of the woods and a little bit of rain too. So still praying for more rain for other sections of Alberta who are still under wildfire. And so we hope that they will get some reprieve very soon. Yeah, Jim just says, how are the fires? Haven't looked at an update as of this morning, but there's still some that are, I know in a lot of places, people were getting allowed to go back home. And those are the moments that are the hardest when you return to see what is left, if anything, of your home. And so I think there's some people struggling in that regard. So we just send them all kinds of love. And yeah, I know that a good friend of mine was just, I don't want to say shipped up, but he is en route to Grand Prairie to help fight the fires up there. I know they've brought in some military to help with actually fighting the fires, and hopefully we can get some rain in that neck of the woods. Mother Nature would be so great. Yeah, I feel like I've rambled a lot there. I'm going to drink coffee. You put something in the comments. Yeah, I feel like I verbal diarrhea it all out. And that's where we're sitting on this Monday morning. But I'm looking forward to hearing more from you, especially too if you're catching the replay. Give me an update in there. I will always see it and come back and connect with you. And like I always say, we're working on some fun guests to come in and chat with us and have some fun. So Shannon, good morning. Thank you as well. She's sending lots of love out to the fire and emergency crews. It's wild. How's weather in North Carolina today? How's weather in Buffalo today, Jim? Angie, I know what your weather's like because I'm sitting in it in the moment. So yeah. What's coming up? Okay, so it's May long weekend this weekend. Does that not feel? Shannon says hot. It's very hot there. Good morning, Jocelyn. How are you? Okay, it's hot in North Carolina, cold in Buffalo, or cool. It's cool in Buffalo. This weekend is the May long weekend, which seems a little wild that it's already here, but it is, which could possibly mean SNOW, but I didn't say that in Alberta. It is a weekend in the community where I live. They have a Little Britches Rodeo, which is a kids rodeo, and there's a parade on the Saturday. So if you're in the Southern Alberta area, you can check out the parade on Saturday morning through downtown High River and all kinds of fun. Jim said, what's the holiday? Well, Monday is what they call Victoria Day, which obviously would be named after a previous queen. I don't think anybody celebrates, honestly, the holiday part of the weekend. They just take the long weekend. I could be wrong, but I don't even know of anything. There's never been something planned around the reason of this weekend, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's just called the Victoria Day long weekend. And that's all I know about that. But we could Google it. National, yes. All of Canada will take part in the May long weekend, I believe. Jim, you make me test my own knowledge of my own country, which I would say is probably limited at best most of the time. But it is so bizarre because, much like maybe you do in the States, Angie's like, yep, it's a national holiday. But I know that there's some that get celebrated differently in different provinces in Canada sometimes. Like down in the East, they sometimes just do their own thing. We don't really know what's going on down there. Michaela, good morning. How are you? Yeah. So it's Victoria Day long weekend. It's nationwide. It feels like, although it's not officially the first weekend of summer, it kind of feels like it kicks off the feeling of that because the weather is nicer and people start camping and all of those things. So that's that. And I feel like, what would it be in May, Jim? You guys have a long weekend the following one, right? Love the birds chirping. Yes. I know my neighborhood is full of the chatty Cathy birds. They are just full force. And it doesn't probably pick up, but like there's enough bees in the tree right in front of me. Like it's like the tree's vibrating. So, yeah. It feels good. It feels spring. Oh, Memorial Day is the last Monday in May. Okay, yeah. So it's the weekend after for us. Sorry. There was something blowing across, but it sounded like something was peeing. And I'm not sure why that's the noise that resonated in my brain, but it just gives you a little insight into the twist that happens inside of there. What else is going on with you guys today? I'm just really so excited for spring. It's one of my favorite seasons. I feel like I've learned to love what each season brings. And I think it's cool. What's one of the cool things about being Canadian is we do have these really dramatic changes of season. And I think in some places there really isn't that dramatic change of season. We have very dramatic change of season, so it makes it kind of cool. So I've learned to love pieces of each season and what they bring. But I would have to say spring and then into summer is like my jam time. But I do love them all for what they bring. Right, unless you're somebody who suffers allergies, which my son does. So he doesn't necessarily love spring so much. It's the season brought to you by Claritin and Reactant. And I thought I saw a news story somewhere talking about how this year they anticipate the allergies to be more intense than past years. I don't know how they know this or what the determining factors for that is. But if you're an allergy person, you might see an increase in that this year. I don't know. I don't know. Jim says it's good to keep up with the Canadian holidays because there's lots of Canadians that'll cross the border in Niagara. Yeah. Well, then you might have a few coming through this weekend. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will bid you adieu for this lovely Monday. Before we depart ways, we're just going to take a hot moment together. Well, it's not going to be hot, but I want you to drop your shoulders. Okay, just do this with me. I want you to take a big, deep breath in through your nose. And then I want you to just let it go. You got this day. Have an amazing week. Have an amazing few days. There won't be coffee club on Wednesday this week. I apologize for that in advance. We will maybe see if we can find another day at some point, but Wednesday I will not be able to come to you live. It is my friend's celebration of life. And so we'll be hanging out and healing with some friends on Wednesday. But I hope you have an incredible week. If we don't get another chance to connect this week, I just hope you have a really incredible week and keep. I think what I was, some intention in meditation class last week that I wanted to share this week is kindness and gratitude. And so when we are in a space of our mind and our body, our actions, and our energy being in kindness, when we are focused on kindness, hatred can't exist. They can't coexist in that same space. So when we have a real devotion and intention in kindness, hatred can exist. And when we have that same kind of energetic mindset, practicing space in gratitude, fear can't exist. So this week, I encourage you to really step into kindness and gratitude, and the entities of fear and hatred can't exist when we do that. So even if it's a collective of us that are really being intentional about loving kindness and gratitude, we will be able to help fight the fear and the hatred in the world. And so wishing you a beautiful week of kindness and gratitude. And I just want to remind you that you are freaking amazing. You are freaking amazing. And you're such an integral, intentional, beautiful piece of our human experience in this world. So I'm so glad that you are here. And I hope you have a great week and spread that kindness and gratitude forward. And we will talk to you as soon as we can.